All right, welcome back. Another episode of the Full Fletch Podcast. Your hosts, Justin and Brooks. Brooks, say what's up.
Yo, what's up, everybody?
How's Brooksy?
I'm good. How's Justin?
Doing good. Now that you finally decided to get on another podcast episode with me.
I know it's been 2 weeks since the last one, so
Yeah, I know. The listeners know. The real diehard listeners know.
Sorry, folks.
My mom knows. That's awesome.
So what has Justin been up to?
Well, I've had 3 birthdays, 3 anniversaries, 2 kids. I mean,
Well, you've got 2 kids already?
yeah,
Dang.
since the last time we recorded. Yeah.
Wow.
No. Shoot. Last couple weeks, got my arrows in. We talked about them a little bit on the last episode. Hopefully we'll get to the point where we can talk about them some more. Yeah. That's the big deal. Oh, I got a new release. Had to bring that out. The Stan Solex Clicker. I've shot, I think, five arrows out of it. And my groups, granted, I was at like 10 yards, but my groups were like, my arrows were touching every time. So pretty happy with that.
Nice.
So we can talk about that more if you want, but yeah, I don't know. I might edit this part out, but joined the Serious Outdoor Group Ambassador Program. So sharing their stuff. Yeah, nothing crazy. I mean, they're not like sending me a bunch of free stuff and whatever. I'm not like an employee, but yeah, get to shoot their stuff and promote them a little bit and share the good word of Serious Outdoors, Serious Outdoor Group, Serious Archery Products. That is what the Orions are. And now I've got a handful of other stuff I bought from them to build arrows with and all that good stuff. So when I had built these arrows, I went with a JB Weld for my inserts, and then or like my components. They make their own epoxy and fletching glue, and so I'm going to use that. So I am still going to put out the video of me making these arrows that I got like on my own earlier, and then the other arrows that I got as part of this whole deal. I'm going to make another video building that arrow. So they're going to be pretty much the exact same, just using their epoxy and glue. And yeah, so other than that, other thing, I put the 75-pound mods in on my bow. They finally came in with the release. So I was shooting 70, and now I'm shooting 75, and I will tell you, there is a difference. I mean, it's not like substantial, but it is like you notice it, especially like on that front end of the pole with that Matthews VXR.
Yeah.
I don't know, for anybody who I guess doesn't know, I'm shooting the Matthews VXR 28 axle to axle and 29-inch draw. And now it's at 75-pound draw, whereas before I was a 70-pound draw. So it felt
moving
really
on
good.
up.
Yeah, it felt really good to hold that. I mean, it's still an 80% let off. So I didn't change that because there's some states that don't allow 85% let off. But you know, who would know? But you just get a little bit more velocity out of an 80% let off as opposed to an 85% let off. I'm not chasing velocity, but every little bit I can get helps when I'm shooting these grain. These are going to be 700 plus grain arrows, so any little bit of velocity I can get. That was part of why I went up in poundage, and yeah. What was I saying about velocity? Anyways, yeah. Oh, let off. 85% let off. It's going to be a little bit slower, and so every little bit I can get helps. Plus, some states don't allow 85% let off, and I'd rather not have to deal with that. So, but I've listened
Might
to
as
a
well
lot
get
of
used
people
to
talk
80.
about it. What's that?
Might as well get used to 80.
Exactly. I've listened to other people talk about like 80% versus 85% and like certain states allowing it and not. And it's like, when you go into a field, like when you get checked by a game warden when you're archery hunting, almost across the board, nobody has ever had the game warden say, "Let me see your bow and let me see what let off you're shooting and what poundage you're shooting and what broadheads you're using." And like they can see, if you're using a lighted knock and you're not supposed to, if you have like that Garmin sight and you're not supposed to have the Garmin sight that is electronic or whatever. And so, the easy things that they can spot off the top, sure, but very rarely has anybody talked about, oh yeah, this guy came out and checked my draw weight and my everything, like all the specs on my bow. They're just like, oh yeah, you're shooting a bow. Are you shooting like the right broadheads or lighted knocks and you're not supposed to? That's basically it. So yeah, I mean, I'm not too concerned about it, but I'm going to stay at 80% let off and I'm going to rock the 75-pound draw. I liked it. It just felt better in the hold. And I felt like I had to pull through my shot just a little bit more. It's only 5 pounds more, but I don't know. It just felt better to pull through at 75 than at 70. And maybe that's just because it was only, like I said, it was like 5 shots with it. But maybe it's just the 5 shots, or maybe that's how it's going to be, which I'm fine either way. Maybe I'll get used to it and it'll feel just like it was before, but I hope not. I like the way it shoots right now, so.
Yeah, you got to send a few more arrows to really see.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's encouraging to have tight groups of, the arrows touching.
For sure.
But there's also that, like I said, that was maybe 10 yards. And, once it gets stretched out, how's it going to feel letting that go? And, I did notice I was holding a little bit more steady because, like I said, I was pulling through a little bit harder. So I feel like, that helps you hold a little bit steadier. So we'll see. We will see. Like you said, five shots is not the tell all, but down the road we'll see.
Yes.
What do you got there? Your old release?
This is my backup. Yeah.
Nice.
My Amazon brand.
Love it.
Backup.
Love it. What's Brooksy been up to? We got to get the update on Total Archery Challenge from
TAC.
Your point of view.
It was a lot of fun. Met some cool people. I was unfortunately wasn't able to go shoot, mostly because, well, it was my first TAC and I didn't really want to leave the booth. I think so. For vendors, you have to be out there to at least 4:00. So I think maybe Durango. Next weekend. I might try to close up maybe Friday at 4, and then go shoot.
Yeah. May as well.
We'll see. I got to talk to Ted about it first. We didn't do as well as we wanted to sales wise. We did not sell out, unfortunately. So he might be like, "Hey, let's just stay at the booth. We need to make up some ground," which is fine. I mean, either way, it's not really a big deal to me. I got Western Hunt Fest coming up at the end of the month anyway, so
yeah,
probably should save my arrows if I'm being honest.
You might need to order some more.
Might have to order some more. Well, I will say this: you can tell. So I don't know if there was people who were just overconfident, not so confident, or they're just playing it safe. But you could just look around, you see the amount of arrows people bring. Like some people that just got, I got my quiver and that's it.
Yeah.
And then some people who got 40 arrows. And I'm like, dang, that's probably me. 40. I need 40 of them.
All you can get, all you can manage to carry.
Yep. So I don't know if there's some people who are just overconfident or just they just know, hey, I've been doing TAC for 10 plus years, I'm fine, type of
Right.
thing. So it was cool. I met the guys at Bowtech. I met the guys at PSE. Um, wasn't I didn't go to the Hoyter or the Matthews booths, which I was wanting to,
Lame.
but never got around to it. I shot a Bowtech, the Proven
Mhm.
34. That's really nice bow.
Yeah.
I pulled it back. I don't know. The guy said it was 70. I didn't check. I pulled that thing back so nice. I was like, why is this so smooth? I think
He's
he
like,
said
yeah,
it like
buy it.
60, if I'm being honest. So
He's like, yeah, buy
he's
it.
probably like,
Buy the
I'm
bow.
gonna make this guy pull back and thinks he's pulling 70 or some shit. Probably. No, he actually came up to our booth and he sells the caribou bags at the Bowtech store in Oregon,
Mm,
and he
cool.
said they do really well. So
Nice.
they always have to restock.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so I guess Caribou used to have a partnership with Bowtech because Ted has an older Bowtech bow.
Mm,
Um, I think Ted Senior is trying to look at some other bow brands.
yeah.
We'll see. I'm not 100% sure how that's going to go. You might want to edit that out of the video the more I think about it. Uh, but yeah, Ted has the older Bowtech. Uh, and then the PSC, I never got to shoot the PSC, which I should have because I should at least like tried to shoot it because they automatically put you in to enter the win their carbon bow,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um, I just never got. I met the guy, the really cool dudes, and then I went around a little bit to the other booths, kind of just checked out what was there. There was Kafaru, the Dialed was there, Ultraview was there, per, uh, Mossy Oak. You had Sig Sauer. You had
Mm,
uh, I think it's Badass Outdoors. You had trying to think who else. Jack Links. I know they're a sponsor though.
yep.
A few more booths, but and Striver gear, which I'll get to that in a second. Shields was there. Trying to think who else. Anyways, I met did I say Scree or no?
Not yet. Just now, maybe.
Scree. So I met the guy who works for Scree. Cool dude. His name's Steven. Uh, we hit it off. Really cool dude. I totally. I feel bad because I fell asleep on him. Because if anyone knows about Lee Deadwood area in South Dakota, it is a big gambling town. AK, it's like Blackhawk essentially, or it's a miniature Vegas essentially. Uh, and he was like, "We're going to this bar." I was like, "Okay, sounds good." I literally, went back to the cabin. I laid down and I fell asleep. I woke up at
Wow.
midnight and I was like, "Whoops." So I felt bad.
Tough.
He gave me crap the next day, which was well deserved.
Yeah.
So, um,
Classic
yeah,
Brooks.
classic.
Goober.
Um, but yeah, I was right next to Shields on my right, and then next to Striver Gear on my left. And shout out to my boy Evan at Striver Gear. I wasn't expecting this, but he gave me a Striver Gear bino harness for free.
What a legend. That's
Absolute dude.
legendary.
It's funny because like when I was talking, like I tried this harness on and everything, and I was like, I really like it. It's a nice like one-handed operation. Um, so this is the Gen 1 version. So you have your regular bino pouch, rangefinder pouch, and then he's got a foam pouch, but then he's got these pockets all the way around. You can kind of tell my wind detector, then my Allen keys right there, which was in my Kafaru, which is right here. I had obviously your bino rangefinder, and then accessory, which I did keep my wind detector and Allen keys in here because these are very small. These side pockets are very small. I didn't really like them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still a really good bino harness. I got the new whatever you call this thing for it,
The breathable straps.
breathable straps. But my guy Evan, this one's kind of nice because like it gives you some molly on the back, and I saw that you could like bow spider. Oh, bow spider was there. You've seen bow spider before, right?
Yeah.
So you could put like one of those bow spiders on the back of this, and then just lock on your bow, and you're hiking. You're good to go, which is pretty cool. But okay. Let me put this on real quick. The main thing with this harness, I'm giving Evan a full
Full promo here.
full promo. Let me just put it on real quick. So, well, dang it. Uh-oh. Where is the... Did I put on the wrong one?
It was on your shoulder.
Hold on, let me... Sorry, folks. Okay. Where are we?
Figure it out. Figure it out. Oh, what a nerd.
Nerd. All right. Why is this all screwed up? There we go. Come on. Sorry, I'm in tight quarters right now. Okay. So it's on. I'm going to camera down a little bit. So the cool part about this is completely detachable. So now I just have the full harness on, and then I can buy an extra phone patch or phone holder, put that here, slide my phone in, and this front pocket right here is big enough for your rangefinder. So if you don't want to go into the kill with much bulk, boom. And then all you do, you got everything back on, right? Or you got it's these little metal things right here.
Yeah.
These
they
magnets.
look like the plastic buckles, but they're not.
They're not. They're magnets. And so all you do, get them close, lock in, boom. Now you're back.
That's nice.
Full on, one-handed operation. So this is Gen 1. And I really like it. I really do. And I was telling him how much I did like it. But I told him, I was like, I just can't buy at the moment. He was doing a 40% off sale. But I told him I just couldn't buy at the moment. Just wedding stuff we got to buy and everything. And then day 3, we're packing up everything. And he goes, I have a gift for you. And sets down the bino harness. I was like, hold on, dude. You don't need to do that. He goes, no, dude, seriously, please. Like, you told me how much you liked it. I want to give it to you. And I was like, well, and then in my mind, I'm like, do I give him game bags? But I can't. I don't have the authority to give him game bags. So I'm like, what do you want? Like, are you sure? He goes, well, do you want that one or like 50% off the Gen 2 when it comes out in a few weeks? And I was like, how about this? I'll take this one, but I'll buy Gen 2 at full price. He goes, all right, deal.
Nice.
And so I told him, thank you. Like, super nice dude. He's from Montana. He just started this company last year. I believe last year, maybe it was 2 years ago, but he's like all in now. And yeah, very so I'll be running that this fall.
Yeah, you have to.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There's a little promo. We'll find his website and we'll link that in the comments or the caption, whatever.
Yep. Yeah. And just overall the the camaraderie at TAC was just it was cool. It was
Yeah,
cool meeting people, just like you're just shooters in general, talking to them, asking, "Hey, where are you from?" And it's kind of funny. The market is very interesting up there in South Dakota because it's one of the smaller TACs, but it's still like a really cool area. And for anyone that hasn't been to the Black Hills, you got to go check it out for sure.
yeah,
Um, but it's interesting. Like you have the market of you got your Midwest hunters, and then you got your Western hunters there as well. So it's half and half. And so you'll have the Western hunters come up and be like, okay, I need game bags. Cool, here you go. Or I'll have the Midwest hunter come up, and he'll be like, I just drive the ATV up to the truck,
yeah.
or the ATV up to the
The
deer,
animal. Yeah,
the animal. I said truck. Same thing. Drive the truck, drive your ATV, whatever, side by side.
right.
And I was like, I get it. So come to find out, uh, what we should have done is we should have brought full carcass bags for the
Mm,
Midwest guys. Because we could have said, like, okay, that's fine. We do have full carcass bags as well to
yeah,
help keep that meat from getting flies, dirt, debris, and everything else in it.
right. Sure.
Bugs. Um, so that'll be a next year thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Learn as you go. It was your first
yep,
one.
it is, and we didn't have anything displayed, which that was another, I think, issue of why we didn't do as well as we wanted because we didn't have like the rifle cover displayed,
Yeah,
or we didn't have the game bags displayed to show people, or we didn't have the tarps displayed to show people the two different size tarps. So I think like we reevaluated and we're like, okay, let's just plan on doing this. Let's just do some samples this next time. And so Ted and I coming up on Tuesday, I'm gonna just go to the warehouse. We're gonna do like a mock setup of the tent and try to because it just depends on what you get. If you get a corner part of the aisle, if you get a middle, you don't have much room because we're only doing a 10 by 10. So we're
yeah.
trying to figure out the best way to promote the product and the best because we got to fit everything in there too.
Right.
So we're gonna figure it out and do a
Yeah.
mock setup on Tuesday. So yeah,
Sweet.
and then headed to TAC Durango on Thursday.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. I'll have this up by then. So if you are a Colorado or New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, I mean that's kind of Durango's like Western Slope ish, South whatever.
Southwest, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, even if you're not from there and you're traveling there, go check out Caribou Gear.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Go
think
go
I
say hi
think
to
we'll do a
Brooks.
lot better. Sorry, go ahead.
No, no, I was just saying go say hi to Brooks. Go buy some Caribou Gear.
Yes, please. I told Ted. I hope none of my coworkers are actually watching this. Uh, we were joking. I was like, because the Utah attack is that weekend right after Durango, and so in 2 weeks, and it's a 4-day event,
Yeah.
not a 3. So
Mm,
I think that's like their big. Besides Pennsylvania, that's their big one. Because I
yeah.
mean, they're from Utah. They're based out of Utah. Um, I told Ted, I was like, hire me on full time, then I'll go to Utah.
Right.
Because honestly, I think because the more I talk to a couple of the other booths, they're like, you guys would do super well in Montana and Utah, no questions
I bet.
asked.
Yeah.
Because South Dakota was just kind of it's a tough crowd, and according to I think the UltraView guys told Steve from Scree. I think it was Steve from Scree, or no, it was Evan from Striver Gear. They told Evan that it took the UltraView guys like 2 or 3 times of going to the South Dakota Tech for people to really like buy into their product.
Yeah.
Because they're like, it was a weird one because apparently it's a people are like, oh, who are you type of thing.
Mm,
And then once they see you there for a couple of years, they're like, okay, we
yeah.
trust you type of thing.
Strike their curiosity enough, or they've done their research, or they've seen your name out there more, and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, I need to stop by their booth.
Right.
Whereas,
Exactly.
that might have been their first encounter with caribou gear.
Yep.
Just for like, caribou in South Dakota doesn't add up.
Right. Yeah, they probably did think that, and they're like, caribou gear, huh?
Yeah, there. I have
So
not seen a caribou in South Dakota ever, so I'm just gonna.
so it was funny. There's this kid. He was probably 16, 17 years old. He was there with his family and everything, and his dad like gave him like 120 bucks to spend at
Okay.
in the in the booth area.
Yeah.
So he went over to Scree because he wanted a new shirt. And then he came over to me. He was like, "Oh, I pulled it." He's from Wyoming. I pulled an elk
Oh,
tag this year. I do
yeah.
need game bags, but I also need a new shirt. And I was like, "All right."
Pick and
I was
choose,
like,
buddy.
"Okay, huh?"
He said, "Yeah, he's got to pick and choose."
Yeah, I was like, "All right, that's all right." I was like, "Well," I was like, "Which do you want more?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't know. I kind of want the shirt." I was like, "Okay, well, what's gonna happen if you kill a bull this year? What are you gonna do?" He was like, "Oh, that's true. I do. Yeah, I need game bags." Dude, it's so funny.
You ain't
And
putting
so
that
then
bull in a t-shirt.
yeah, and so he went over to the Scree booth, and Steve was a dude. He goes, "Go get game bags. Like you're gonna need those. You can always get a shirt. You need game bags. I promise you." And Steve really likes our stuff anyways, so
Yeah.
the kid came back over. He goes, "All right, I'll get the game bags," and so he got a Wapiti set. And then he went back over to Steve to Scree, and he's looking. He goes, "Do you have anything for 48 bucks?" And Steve's like, "Here, I'll give you that shirt for 48. It's fine." So he ended up getting both.
Oh, what a guy! What
It
a
worked.
deal! You just
Yeah,
wheel
it
and
worked
deal.
out. Yeah, so I was happy. I was like, "All right, cool. That
Yeah,
kid got both things he wanted."
perfect.
So yeah,
That's the dream. That made his shoot. That might have made his hunting season, not just
might
his
have been.
weekend.
Yeah. So
He's still
and
walking on a
then
cloud nine.
one last thing before we move on. There's this older couple that it looks like they were with their son, son and I want to say the son's wife, and they were at the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation booth across the way, and the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation was doing a big raffle, and so the guy was like signing up for it, and they were just waiting, and they came in, they're like, "Oh, caribou gear," and they were looking, and I was like, "Yeah, game bags, raffle covers, blah blah blah," and they're like, "Oh, where are you out of?" I was like, "Oh, Colorado." And I was like, "Where are you guys from?" And they're like, "Nebraska." And I was like, "Oh, okay, we're in Nebraska." They're like, "Oh, the Panhandle." I was like, "North or south of in the Panhandle?" And they're like, "North." And I'm like, "Okay, so you're near Shadron?" And they're like, "Yes." And I was like, "What town?" They're like, "You've probably never heard of it." And I was like, "I guarantee you I have." And they're like Rushville. And I was like, "My grandpa's working on the courthouse right now." They're like, "Your grandpa's Jim Irwin?" I was like, "Yep, that's him."
That's awesome.
They're like, "Oh, small world." It was funny. So yeah, he actually just finished that. I want to say that Sunday that I left TAC, he just finished that courthouse up.
Nice. Small world.
Yeah. So those of you who don't know my grandpa, he's a bricklayer and does a lot of stonework as well. So
Sweet.
he's
Sweet.
85 and he's still rolling, still going,
Crazy.
man. Dude's on a freaking scissor lift high up, just going.
Just cut from a different cloth, man.
Yep.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
because so Rushville is about it's about 30 minutes east of Shadron, and then Gordon, where my grandparents live, is 15 minutes east of Rushville. So everyone in that whole northern Panhandle area pretty much knows each other.
Yeah,
So
that's sweet.
yep. So that was TAC. Enjoyed it.
Nice.
I'm looking forward to Durango next weekend. Hopefully, we'll see if I get to shoot or not. If not, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
So,
Shoot, if nothing else, go get some reps at the practice range. It's a really nice
yep,
practice range. You
yep,
gonna shoot for the truck?
yeah. Oh, I do need to shoot for the truck
111
because,
yards,
yeah,
caribou. You got a 10 ring
yeah,
it or whatever.
yeah,
Inside out, you
yeah.
can't be on the line.
Nope,
Isn't that how it
got
works?
it. I think so. I think that's the rule.
I mean, the 10 ring on the they're not doing they're those IBO targets or whatever. So it's like the outer ring, inner ring, just and not the three smaller rings. You just got to
Yeah,
be in like the within that bigger ring or the medium whatever ring or small
yeah.
ring.
I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna hit 111 yards when my sight only goes to 100 yards, and I'm like the fletchings are barely skimming the sight at 100 yards. So
See a lot. Well, you're on a 4 fletch, so guys that are on 3 fletch, they'll turn their arrow like upside down
uh,
and bump that sight as far down as they can without like while still keeping clearance. So yeah, with you being on a 4 fletch, you can't really do that
no,
because it's the same clearance.
this is why I'm
Yeah,
gonna get a dialed sight. I don't have to worry.
yeah. You got to shoot a faster bow, lighter arrow. Then you'd be
Yeah,
out to like 130, no problem.
I'm thinking I'm debating. I'm thinking about getting myself the Darton Sequel 35 for like a
Mm-hmm.
TAC type of bow whenever my FedEx money hits. Keep my Hoyt for hunting, but I'm kind of thinking getting the Darton because yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. That Darton's pretty nice.
it's a nice
Would be
bow.
good to hunt
Then I
with
can
too.
be like, I have that as a tack bow. Then we can make some arrows that are lighter.
Yeah,
Ooh,
yeah. Do a tack build for Brooks.
that'd be fun.
Love it,
So
love it.
yeah, I'm gonna have to shoot for it and see if I can do it or not.
It's like it's. I've heard it's expensive. It's like I don't even want to know or misquote it, but it's like $20 an arrow or something like that. $10 an arrow.
I think you're right. I think that's right. It's right around there. I can't remember exactly.
I think they do
I
like a
will
bullet
say,
thing, but still,
yeah, that's a nice truck.
yeah. That Chris
Uh,
B's won it like 3 times over the last like 5 years.
seriously?
Yeah, he like,
Dang.
I mean, he's him and like a couple other people do it now, but um, he would shoot until he got it, like until he hit it, and so like he just did another video of it again over the course of 2 different TAC events. He um, shot until he hit it, and I want to say he shot like 130 arrows at it before he got one because
Holy cow.
he was doing it with a different setup. If he did it with like his normal setup, he would have gotten it in like 30 or less. But he was doing it with like an old Matthews bow with like a
Oh,
super cheap sight. He's like, I got to do it with this setup and whatever. And so it took him like
the
130,
content.
yeah, for the content. But it took him over the course of like 2 or 3 TAC. I think it was 2 TAC events, and he finally did get it. But
Jeez.
yeah, but like that's what some people will do. They'll just keep shooting until they get it, or they'll just be like, okay, I've got 30 arrows, and we'll see, if I get one or how many I can get in 30 arrows. But like, some people they'll be like, I'll buy like 3 shots at it, and if I hit
Yeah.
it, great. If I don't, I'm not. But I mean, that's still a really cheap truck if you hit it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's very well. They gotta pay for the truck somehow, you know.
I think it's more than paid for by the time all those people take shots at it. But yeah,
Oh,
Chris. Anyways, Crispy, he's gotten it like at least twice. I think he might have gotten it 3 times.
like the actual truck. He's won the truck.
Yeah. So like, if you hit it, you're like if you hit at 111 and you hit inside the 10, your name gets
Right.
entered into a drawing. And so there's like
Right.
100 some people maybe over the course of all the TAC events get put into a drawing. End of TAC season, they draw a name out of a hat or whatever, and like 2 or 3 times it's been his name been drawn.
Dang. Lucky.
Right.
Straight luck.
One here he like actually like took it and he's like sweet and like used it and like that turned into like his hunting rig for the year because he was doing a bunch of traveling with it. And I want
Oh,
to
that's
say
cool.
I think he did it like the next year. If he's done it 3 times, like if he's won it 3 times, um, at least one of the times he just like was like give the truck away to somebody else. Like
That's cool. Yeah.
I've already won twice. Like stop.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I
yeah,
don't
you
want
won
it again.
again.
I put in for Cam Haynes's truck.
Oh, you did. Saw that.
I just did. I did the free entry.
Yeah.
Probably won't win it, but never know.
Hey, you never know. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I saw you tagged me in the Matthews post. You tagged 2 people for free Matthews Lift X.
Dude, that would be sweet if one of us won that.
Yeah,
I
no doubt.
never
I
win
mean,
stuff
I
anyway,
would
so
not
yeah.
turn down a free bow. So,
Absolutely not.
and
Because I
there was
mean,
a bunch of other free extras with it too. So it wasn't just the bow. It was like a
oh,
case,
there's
a couple other things.
there was. I didn't know that. I guess I didn't read it enough. I just saw tag 2 people to win. I was like, tag.
Yep. Justin and Tanner tagged.
I want this bow.
Right. Seriously. Seriously.
That's the thing. Well, you shoot a Hoyt. I don't care. It's a freaking free bow.
Yeah, seriously.
I will say the I will shoot the new Hoyts and the new Matthews next weekend uh, at TAC because I
Yeah.
still haven't shot them. I need to feel them.
Yeah.
So
Give them a go. I haven't shot them either. I haven't shot any other. I haven't shot any bow other than my own bow. Like ever.
well, looks like you got to go to Nashville North and go visit MFJJ to shoot a
Yeah.
couple.
Yeah. Get a little jangle in the pocket. Go try to get another bow. Maybe not this upcoming season, but maybe for next season. Look at getting a new one. Keep this one as a backup bow.
There you go.
Because I was listening to somebody else talk about it, and it's like, man, by the time you get done, you put on new strings, and then you go, like, if you take it to a shop, you put on new strings, you sight it in, you want to buy a new sight, yada yada. Like, the list goes on and on. By the time you buy all these things to like get yourself right, like, you may as well just buy a new bow for a lot of these things. And don't take that too seriously, because it's like, okay, just to restring a bow and like the fees for it, it's like, a couple $100 and you're taken care of. But like, it's a pretty big chunk out of just buying a new bow. Not
Right.
saying every time you need new strings, go buy a new bow, because that's not the math. But
No.
Eventually it's like, it's kind of old. These new ones are faster, quieter, better, like all these other things. May as well just buy a new bow.
May as well.
So maybe next year
Yeah.
for me. Yep. Other updates, not just for you or me, but for everybody. The big beautiful bill, the public land sale, got pulled out.
Thank goodness, because
Yeah.
I'm glad we won that. It was awesome seeing that victory, and it was kind of funny how Mike Lee tried to his posts on Twitter about it being pulled, and he was just trying to save face. Like, dude, just admit that your idea sucks.
Yeah.
It's simple as that. Like,
You were
I
about
get
to
it,
on the
man.
wrong side of history.
Yeah, like, I get you're trying to save face and you're trying to stick with your guns, but just admit it's a dumb idea.
Right.
And that, like, apparently we were called communists for wanting to keep our public lands. Like, no, dude. Here's the thing: us, the public, we own these lands.
Mm-hmm.
You guys just run it for us. It's simple as that.
Yeah. And don't really do a great job at that. So
True.
that's something to be addressed. But it
Yes,
is,
that does
you're
need to be
100% right.
addressed. Like, it's our land, the people's land. That's what Theodore Roosevelt is on Mount Rushmore for.
Yeah.
So I'm glad it was great. And like, I read comments and some people are on Twitter like, oh, this land needs to be privatized. It's gonna be like, then it's really gonna be a rich man's game when it comes to hunting.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw something. It was like, oh, well, we ended up having to pull it out because too many people were wanting to know exactly who it was going to be sold to. And we just couldn't make any promises because the way that we would have to do it and the verbiage we would have to use for it to stay in the bill, we couldn't guarantee that China or BlackRock or AI, name the AI company, like whatever AI companies, we can't promise that those aren't the people that are going to buy it. And so it's like, even worse.
Right.
Like, even worse, man. Like, you're selling
Yeah.
it to the highest bidder. The highest bidder is going to be somebody that we don't want there, probably,
Correct.
for
Correct.
who know a multitude of reasons. But like, it was just like, yeah, huge win. And I've listened to a lot of podcasts the last like week or so talking about it. Now, we're recording on July 3rd, so happy Independence Day, post Independence Day by the time you're listening. But no, it was just like, all week I've been listening to people talk about Brooks.
America.
Brooks is showing his Andy Frisella, or what's his name?
Andy Frisella, the real American freedom flag.
Real AF flag. He's showing his flag with the bison, red, white, and blue.
That'll be my backdrop. I'm wearing the hat too.
But no, it's just tons of representation from the people, or showing that we cared about it. Tons of calls and emails, backcountry hunters and anglers. The list of advocates goes on and on, but there were a lot of really big role players involved, and every phone call mattered. And they were able to track how many phone calls and from what states and such, emails where they were coming from, and they were saying that obviously it affected the West most because it was a direct impact, but this could have eventually trickled down to whatever state that has BLM. At one point, U.S. Forest Service was potentially going to be at risk. Obviously, they pulled that out before they pulled everything out, but it was just like, this could trickle down to everybody in the U.S. is their land could be up for sale at any point. And so it was just like,
Yep.
there was countrywide call-ins and emails, but the West is really heavily represented, being like, hey, we're paying attention. And it was good to see that there was something that united, both sides of the aisle.
Yeah.
You can call them the hippies of people that are just hikers or bird watchers, and they use the same public land as Brooks and I, who we go out there and hunt the animals on it, and they're out there hiking and camping and nature watching. We're nature
Right.
hunting, they're nature watching. We don't necessarily see eye to eye a lot of the times when we're out there, maybe, but this was something where it's like, hey, they're trying to take it from us. If you enjoy it, even if you don't enjoy what I do, and if I don't enjoy what you do, at least we enjoy the place that we're doing it. And they're trying to take that from us, and everybody spoke out about it. It was
Right.
across the board, and so it was awesome to see.
It was big victory.
Yeah,
Proud of us Americans for not letting that one go.
yeah, that was a much higher scale than the Colorado mountain lion thing, which
For sure.
Colorado's going to be on the chopping block again with more and more shit that just keeps coming up. I've been hearing about. We'll get into that at
Yeah,
some other
later.
episode, because there's so many more details to come to fruition on that, or to come out of the woodworks on that. But Colorado's about to be on it again. But since this was a wider scale, it was impacting the whole U.S. It was good to see how well hunters were representing ourselves when it came down to it.
It was.
Came crunch time. So next time, because unfortunately this is probably not the last time. So next time it happens, hopefully it's just as strong, if not stronger, because the way they are going to blindside us, not even attack us, they're going to blindside us with something. We're going to have to be outspoken twice as much just to make sure we can protect what we have.
Well, the thing is like Mike Lee just pretty much wrote off being a politician ever again. Because I guarantee you he's going to get voted out. Or at least not voted out, but at least primaried by another Republican. Because people are going to be like, yeah, dude, get bent. Get out of here.
Right.
Which is good. Like, he should be primaried. I'm sorry. I'm not even sorry. He should be primaried.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a tough look. So hopefully the state of Utah, the constituents of Utah, see that what he was trying to do and how bad it could have been. Say, hey, you tried to not have our best interests at heart there, fella. You're done. So
that one. Excuse me.
Nice. Well, I think that's the big breaking news. I don't know. We got 15, 20 minutes. We want to talk some arrows and releases. I want to tell you a little bit more about the release. Have you heard about the stand clicker?
You showed me a few, maybe a month ago. The days are blurring together right now, so probably a month ago.
Yeah, somewhere, somehow, I've shown you, but we'll show the listeners. All right, so it is a wrist rocket, as some people call them. So index release, stand Solex clicker. So stand Solex, people have been saying, which I haven't really paid much attention to the release game, but people have been saying that the stand Solex is like the best index release money can buy, under $100. There's other releases that are over $100 that are index releases, and they're great, but they're like, this one is like as strong of a contender at under $100, where a lot of them are like 150, $200. So Stan Solex then introduced they kept that one, and then they introduced a clicker. So I don't know if they're the only index release with a clicker, but we'll try to highlight it here. So I've got the mic and the clicker. So what you got, I'm showing to the camera for the listeners. Sorry, you're just gonna have to suffer through this. On the side, there's two different adjustments you can make. On the side, adjust how much like travel the trigger has, and then there's another one on the front or bottom, whatever you want to call it. That one adjusts how much tension, so how much pressure you have to actually push on it. But the whole idea, and so you adjust it to your liking. It has a clicker, so you go until it clicks, and so you can adjust how much travel to the click, and then from there, that's where your amount of pressure post click you're adjusting for, if that makes sense. So you're adjusting how much the trigger travels to the click, and then from the click to actual it going off, there's that other screw that adjusts how much pressure you have to have. So when you go back, it goes, there's just an ever so slight click. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's something that you can feel.
Is that it?
And then it goes off as you press through. So very subtle. You feel it more than you hear it, which I would say is good. And there's some people that say people that shoot with a clicker, in the woods, the critters are hearing it click, and that's spooking them, and it's causing them to duck the string, jump the string harder and faster or earlier or whatever, more sensitive to noises because they hear the click. I don't think so, but this is something that you more feel than you hear, but I really like it. It's supposed to kind of help you in your shot process.
Yeah.
It's something we talked a lot about with the shot IQ thing, and Joel Turner, he helped design it, or initiate the idea. They basically took the same release and found a way to install a clicker, and so
Right.
not necessarily his entire idea, but I don't know if the whole breakdown of series of events, but really good release. Needs a clicker. Guy who's a big proponent of clickers, regardless of what type of release it is. So they talked about it, but it's really nice. You go through, and then you get to that click, and it's like, all right, I just got to keep pulling, boom, and it's gone. And
Yeah.
like I said, I only did five shots with it, but like I just felt like I was holding better, and my mindset was not on, is my pin in the right spot. It was thinking about, am I pulling enough? Am I pulling good? I'm steady. I'm pulling, and it went off, and it was like my if like I said, it was only 5 shots, but my shot process felt really smooth and clean with those 5 shots. So
Yeah.
I went into Nashville North Archery and tried the connected metal version. This one is a web strap, which when you watch Joel Turner talk about it, he's like, you want the web strapped one because you want that thing to be as almost as short as you can get it. And the connected metal one, like it has a minimum. This one has a minimum, but the minimum for this one is like 0. And the
Yeah.
minimum on the other one is like a couple inches. And so you still have a little bit of like reach with your index finger. This
Yeah.
one, you can basically make a fist and you're just pulling, as opposed to like squeezing with your finger. Because
Right.
so if you're making a fist, you can be a lot more consistent with your pressure with your whole fist, as opposed to a consistent pressure with your index finger. Because one time you might be a little bit fast, another time slow, another time just like a little bit light, and you're pulling more. And so it's just having it as short as you can get it makes it to where you can be really consistent. So you're using
Right.
it like you would like a hinge or thumb button, but it's just an index style. And I've always shot an index, been way more comfortable with it. I tried a thumb button like for 10 shots, and I was like, not for me. And
Yeah.
so I really, really like this. And I really like it. This is the shortest I've ever had an index go. And I might even go shorter because I mean, I'm not reaching for the trigger by any means, but I like the idea of just being able to like get on it and get my finger around it, around that trigger, and just pull. And then it
Yeah.
basically turns into like a back tension release, but not. And
Right.
as long as I'm consistent with my pressure and I'm pulling, and that thing goes off, I think that's going to be huge for consistency and accuracy for me, which is the
Yeah.
whole idea of their design. So I'm excited about it.
As you should be. That thing looks cool.
Yeah. And $120, like their normal Solex is like $99, $100,
Yeah.
whatever. This is like $120. I think the connected metal is like 130. So um, the clicker, they up the price a little bit. So I
Right.
say 5 shots into it, it's worth it.
Well, I might have to try it,
Yeah.
even though I use a thumber.
Well, they make, I think it's Onyx, Stan Onyx. I don't know. I'll pull it up and look here real quick, but um, Stan releases, but they make releases with clickers of every style. So they've got
Okay.
a hinge, and a thumb, and now an index, obviously, all with clickers. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I've thought about going to a clicker because it makes sense, and it's kind of like a shop process type of thing too.
Yeah, for sure.
Because
Yep,
you
they have
hear
an
the
Onyx
click.
clicker thumb.
Okay,
You're not gonna like that price point.
what is it? Let me $300.
$320.
Yeah, that's impressive. Those
Um,
freaking thumbers are so damn expensive. Like mine is a True Fire, middle of the road. Is still $100. Granted, it was I spent 2 Shields gift cards on it, but still.
right. Let's see.
Oh, gee.
Thumb. Onyx thumb, Onyx clicker thumb, and Axis. I don't think.
I've also thought about doing trying the UV thumber out too.
Yeah, I've heard those are good.
Yeah, I've heard it's really good.
Yeah, Stan Onyx clicker is,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, I would say give it a gander, give it a look, and who knows? There could be some releases at TAC that you'd be able to try that have clickers. You might be
Yeah.
able to bring a deal there too.
Yeah,
Put
I
one on
do
their
need
discount.
to yeah, I need to go around the booths next time and because I guess I was trying to figure out like slow and busy times. So during the
Yeah,
slow periods, I'll have to go around and be like, all right, like what do we got?
for sure. Check it all out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, um,
So, well, let's talk about the era.
the arrow. Yeah.
Serious, serious. It's called serious, right?
Yeah. Yep. Serious.
S-
Just
Serious.
yeah.
I was commenting on your field point today,
Yeah.
and I've seen those before. The little bit longer ones. One of the guys I shot with in New Mexico ran those, and I was like, "Oh, that
Okay.
actually looks kind of cool."
Yeah, they're really nice. I don't know how good this camera is going to adjust to it here. I don't know if it's going to autofocus, but um, try to get out of frame and show it as good as I can. But so this is a 200 grain. They make them at all your standard grains um, weights, but this
Yeah.
one's 200 grain. So that 100, 125, 150, so on and so forth. This is 200, but they're all the same layout basically, a little bit longer. The big thing that I really love about these field points, the one thing I really love about these field points is this little gasket right here. So it's like a rubber gasket that basically keeps it from unscrewing itself. So you put it in, and when I put these in and I get it screwed all the way down, like I never have to go back. And I've shot these. I shot them on my old arrows last year too, because I was flirting with going with a 200 grain broadhead, and so I bought these to see about the weight. And then it got to the point where I was like, I just am not going to be able to buy a 200 grain broadhead, but I had gotten the field points, and so I'd been shooting them quite a bit. I have never had to retighten these field points. I put them in once and they're in there. So that's one thing I really love because I'm guilty of, I'm a cheap ass when it comes
Yeah.
to a lot of things. Like there's certain things I'm going to spend my money on because it's going to be worth it, but like field points, okay, like just buy the cheapest ones that are supposed to be the right weight.
Right.
These are all like exactly 200 grains, and so there's no fluctuation because the field point was not the right weight. Whereas you buy the bulk pack that from Walmart or whatever, they're labeled as 100 grains, but they're 98, 104, and they're just not all accurate. These are all 200 grains. I measured every single one of them, 200 grains, and they never come unscrewed. And that's like my biggest thing is when you like on my other points, you go and knock an arrow and you just feel the rattle, and it's like, what is loose? What is going on? Is something wrong with my
Right.
arrow or what? And it's always that field point, and you got to stop, go screw it back in, and then re-knock, and then you can go through your shot. And then your next shot with that same arrow, you have to do it all over again. Never had to do it with these. And, I've shot them probably hundreds of times now, where it's basically it's one and done. You screw it in, and you don't have to mess with it.
That's
So
I saw they're only for a 12 pack. It's only $13.
yeah, they're like a standard price, but they're a really high quality material, and they have that gasket on there, so it doesn't unscrew itself, doesn't come
Yep.
unscrewed. They're weight matched or whatever. Like, they're excellent field points. And before I ever had anything to do with Sirius, I bought them, and I was like, I love these, and I just didn't buy the lesser grain in field points because I didn't have a need, because I already had 125s, and I was like, I'll just deal with the headache of having to tighten them all the time.
Right.
But I see myself, I'm going with this arrow that I'm building for this year is going to be like 700. We talked about last time, like 710, 711 grains by the time I get them fletched up and everything. I probably only see myself ever going up in grains because I'm only going to go heavier on the broadhead. And so that's the other thing. They make basically the same field points, but like extra heavy. And so there's not a whole lot of companies out there that make really heavy field points, and Sirius does. And so really awesome field points. They make them in all the weights. There's really no complaints there at all. They're awesome.
Love it. Now, with those field points, do you still cut your arrows the same length as usual?
The field points, yes. Yeah. So the only difference between, like, if I put this field point on my other arrows from like last year, they're cut the same. It obviously it makes it a little bit longer, the total length, but
Yeah.
it's not like it's nothing that's going to really change if anything, it'll improve your arrow flight, but it doesn't change your mass. Obviously, it'll
I was
improve
just
your
thinking
arrow
like
flight because
lengthwise.
yeah, it'll only improve your arrow flight because your FOC is going to be better, because a
Gotcha.
little bit more weight is farther out front compared to, like, you buy your stock black field point.
Yeah.
They're like not even like barely an inch long, if that.
Yeah.
Like
Right
all
here.
the weight on that one that you're showing right now is like at the base, like right where you screw it in. This one, the weight is out front, and so the whole idea is just higher FOC and aerodynamics. It looks good, flies really good, comes out really clean. So
I'll probably add that to my next order.
you should, you really should. They're
Yeah.
they're outstanding.
No, I will. I absolutely will add those to the next order.
Yeah. So I've started my video on the arrow build, and I've gotten through the knock tuning process, so I have them all marked. I don't know if I've had the hardest time. I went with those DCA vanes, and I, for the life of me, cannot get those vanes to stick good. I don't know if it's my glue. I don't know. Like, I've followed the instructions that they come with. I've tried rubbing alcohol, primer pens, everything. I've tried it. Doesn't work. And so I haven't gotten that whole frustration on video. But I've done the knock tuning and everything, so I'm ready to go, and I'm ready to get them fletched. I'm switching my vanes because I cannot get my vanes to stick, and I'm switching to those Q2Is because those things are so easy to work with, and I love how they look. I love how easy they are to work with, and the colors are brighter. Bryant went with the neon green, and those things freaking pop. And like, they are bright, and your orange ones bright, they pop. And so I'm going white, but I mean, even that, I feel like those white ones are just going to pop. And so
Yeah.
they're easy to work with. They pop, and I don't know. I've only heard good things about their arrow flight. They say it's that those vanes, the Q2I X2, Fusion X2 or whatever, is meant for target archery in like 3D, but they're almost the same, not the same shape, but they're the same like height and length and everything as what they're claiming as their hunting vane, which is a different shape. But
Right.
I've heard better reviews about the Q2I Fusion X2 over whatever the other one is. And so I'm going with those. I like the way they look. They're quiet. They're easy to work with. All of the above.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm switching to. I ordered them on Amazon because everybody else, they either didn't have the right size, didn't have the right color, or it was going to take like a week to get them in. And I'm like, I just want these things freaking done. I want them. I'm going 3 Fletch. I want a 3 Fletch. Let's just get it over with, please. And so
Yeah.
those
Please.
will be here Sunday, and I'm gonna have them fletched, built out, ready to go. I'm gonna be shooting freaking tight groups come Monday.
Heck yeah, I'm pumped.
Fired up.
Fired. Yeah. Right, Chance? He's like, what?
Chance is back.
Chance is back. Do you want to say hi, Chance? He's licking my leg right now. Come here, man.
It's
Come
hot.
here. Hey, come here. Come here. Come on. Come here. Hey, Chance. Come on. Hey, look at me. Come on. Come on. Come here. He's like, no.
This has gone so well every single time we've tried.
I know. Easy. Buddy. He's like, what?
So you had a couple of questions last time, Brooks. Do you got like five more minutes to talk about them a little bit?
What questions did I have?
You're wondering how fletchings impact the flight of the arrow. And
Yes.
then you're wondering about nock tuning. Like, how do you nock tune? Why do you nock tune? Yeah.
Yes.
So
Let's talk about the fletchings real quick because I'm debating on my next order to go half 3 fletchings and half 4, just to try to compare them.
Yeah.
And see which ones I like really like.
Yeah. Well,
And
honestly,
I know that'll kind of throw the arrow weight off just a little bit, but not drastically.
7 grains.
Yeah.
Which that's not going to change. That's not even gonna, that would change your pins if you were at if you're shooting the 111 yard shot,
Right.
120 yard shot. When you're talking 20, 30, 40, 50, 7 grains is not it might adjust it by a percentage of a yard.
Right.
So it's not anything to worry about.
Okay.
So it'll change the weight. The only other thing, apparently more research is coming out that is saying 4 Fletch versus 3 Fletch, you're not really getting that much more performance. Your vanes are not doing that much more work on a 4 Fletch compared to a 3 Fletch. They're not spinning that much faster. What people really like about them, which I liked about them last year, having a 4 Fletch, especially when you're doing them on the same color, and I liked my white, you just see it that much better.
Yeah.
The visual of a 4 Fletch flying away from you, you see that just a little bit better than you do a 3 Fletch. Especially if you're going especially when they're all the same color. When you start mixing and matching colors, it doesn't matter which orientation you do, 3 or 4 Fletch. If they're different colors, it's harder to see just because we're human. We don't see the mixing of colors that great.
Makes sense.
So I mean, it's all preference on, if you feel like your arrow flies better with a 3 Fletch over a 4 Fletch, do it.
Maybe next go around I order make 2 of them a 3 Fletch and then the rest.
Yeah. I mean, you've got a whole bunch of 4 fletch, so we could just do it all
Well,
3 fletch. Or
well,
you don't have a whole bunch left anymore.
yeah. RIP.
Dang it, Brooks. Dang it. Well,
Hey,
it's gonna have to be different because we're gonna go
hey,
serious. It's not gonna be
I will.
Black Eagle anymore.
I know. I will say this: first day at the 3D range in a month on Sunday. Did not lose one arrow. Did not miss one shot. I might have hit the butt, but I still didn't miss.
Oh man, that's awesome. That's awesome. Good for you, Brooksy.
Thanks. Right. And what
Um,
was my other question? I forgot.
Knock tuning. You'd never
Yeah,
heard of it.
like
So
I've heard of it, but I'm like confused about it.
yeah, so when you're doing knock tuning, you want to do it bare shaft, and you want to do it like 7 yards
Okay.
because if it's off, it's going to be off a lot, and that arrow's going to take off. Which one of mine
Right.
did. They were taking off a little bit, but I was trying not to hit my other arrows that I had already shot, so I aimed a little bit left. Well, in doing that, what was happening, they were flying away from me. So I'm orienting the arrow with the camera. What they were doing was they were going, flying away from me, and then the point would go left, so my knock was right, and then they
Okay.
would just start flying that way. And when they would stick in the target, I could see like half the shaft, and so I was missing. The arrow was missing knock right.
Okay.
So 2 things on that. One, part of it can be fixed knock tuning, but for how drastic that was missing, my rest was not lined up properly. So whoever
Okay.
put the strings on my bow last did not. I thought that they did, but they didn't. Um, they didn't tune my bow. They didn't shoot it through paper, all that good stuff. Because if they had,
Okay.
they would have noticed not right. And so
Sure.
myself, I just did it myself because it's the easiest solution I could do. Just move my rest to the left. That caused the knock to be a little bit more straight, more straight impact. But so what
Okay.
you're doing when you're knock tuning, if you're shooting close to bullet holes, like really close to bullet holes, you're still going to have a little bit of, unless you're absolutely perfect and it's already knock tuned or lined up along the spine, um, your knock is going to be one way or the other, left or right. It shouldn't be up or down because if it is, then something's still off with your rest. But
Right.
if it's left or right, just a little bit, like we're talking like not even an inch left or right, you'll twist your knock to adjust where your spine is oriented. And so what you're trying to
Okay.
do is find where the spine is and have your spine up. So the reason you do it that way, as opposed to any other way, is you don't need any other materials than your bow and your arrow.
Right.
There's other ways of doing it, and you can buy a spine tester, which are like hundreds of dollars. You can put your arrow in a bow press and then press that arrow, and then when it flexes, once it flexes straight down, you'll know that your spine is on top or whatever. I've never done it, so I don't know exactly. But once it flexes down, you know where your spine is. And
Right.
so you just twist your arrow until you find your spine, and then you just mark it. Well, the most cost effective way for me, without going and buying a bow press or buying a spine tester, and these arrows don't come spine aligned, and as much as a lot of companies claim they're spine aligned, there's people that will test them and be like, that's actually not where the spine is on this arrow, and so they have to like readjust it. So um,
Huh.
you want your spine up all the time, and in knock tuning, that is the cheapest way. It's probably the most time consuming, but it's the cheapest way you can find where your spine is on the arrow. And you do it on each and every arrow and test them, shoot them, twist them a little bit. So what I would do is I shoot it. If it's perfect, it's perfect. That happened on 1 or 2 arrows where I didn't have to change. Once I got my rest lined up, I shot, of my dozen, 2 of them were perfect the way that I had just put them on initially.
Okay.
After that, twist it 90 degrees right, twist it 90 degrees left, just 180 degrees from the original position. Just keep tinkering with it, and then twist them until you find just the right spot, and then you silver sharpie so that you know which side is supposed to be your up side, and that's where your spine is.
Right.
And that's just going to make sure that your arrow, before you even put fletchings on, flies as well as it can without fletchings. And then when you put the fletchings on, the fletchings aren't having to do more work than what's necessary, and they just more or less keep instead of having to steer the arrow, they're just keeping the arrow online. Because that
Gotcha.
arrow's flexing, and instead of having to steer it and keep it in line, like make it go where you want it, it's just like letting it go where you want it, if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
Because you've lined it up to where it's shooting itself, and the veins are just kind of along for the ride, being like, okay, we're just making sure we're staying on track. They're leading from the back, making sure
Makes sense to me.
everybody stays in line.
Right. Okay. That makes a lot more sense, though.
Yeah. It was the first time I had ever done it, because any other time that I had bought arrows from somebody who built them for me, they had a spine tester and they marked it and whatever, and I just didn't ever test it myself. They came fletched and I just shot them. And once I started building my own, I would buy arrows that were spine aligned from the factory, or I just would say screw it and fletched them. And that was like early on. So, as I get into it and I'm starting to build arrows for people, yeah, I'm probably going to buy a bow press or a spine test or something like that, because I'm not going to shoot every single arrow for every single customer. Otherwise, I'm going to start upcharging through the roof to spine align for people by knock tuning. And so, I'm not going to do all that for them. So for me, when I'm building arrows for people, I'll find the spine some other way if that's something that they want. But for the most part, as long as your bow is in tune, your arrow is not going to do crazy stuff. My arrow is doing crazy stuff, and I thought at first it was just these arrows, and I went back to my other arrows, and I took the fletchings off of an arrow, and I was like, I'm shooting this thing bare shaft and seeing what it does. And it did the exact same thing, and it was a different spine and a little bit different length. So the fact that it was a different spine, I was like, okay, it's not this it's not these new arrows, it's my bow. And so I had to adjust my bow before I even tinkered with the arrows, which is frustrating, because who knows what other problems my bow actually has deep down. But for now,
take it to FFJJ.
Yeah. Not that I wouldn't be disappointed, but my pocket would be disappointed.
Yeah, that's true.
I would gladly take it to them, because after seeing them in person, obviously watching him, I don't know if he would be the guy working on my bow per se, but I have a lot of trust in what they do. But it's just like, that costs money and time and days without shooting my bow. So if I can get it as close to good as I can on my own, I'm gonna do that. And so that's where I'm at with it right now. So yeah, I'm excited. So I've got a dozen and a half Orion 200 spine, and now shooting 75 pound 29-inch draw. Gonna go 3 fletch with the Q2i X2 or Fusion X2, all white, 3 fletch, 200 grains up front, or on the point, 175 grain insert, 700 some odd grains minimum.
Yeah,
it'll be sweet.
Yeah, buddy. Can't wait to see that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the best. They always say like you don't want to test penetration on a target, but like these things zip through my targets just that
Right.
much better than my other arrows were.
Right.
And they are old targets, and they sit out in the sun in the weather and get beat up all year round. So they're not like the highest quality targets anymore. But these things freaking put hurting on them, which is what it is. But
Yeah.
sweet, I'm excited.
You, buddy. I'm
I
excited
love it.
for you.
I love it. I love it, and I
I'm
love it.
excited to order some new arrows from you. I get the new.
Yeah, get the serious. Honestly,
Yeah.
they build them different. Their carbon mix is different. They use like a different epoxy and whatever and weave, all that fancy stuff. I would love
Yeah.
to like go up there and like learn how they do it, or where they're doing it, how they're doing it, all that good stuff. But
Where where are they at?
Kentucky,
Ah,
yeah. So I'd love to go
where
up
in
there.
Kentucky?
What's that?
Where in Kentucky?
I don't remember.
Fair enough.
Um, Burlington, Kentucky.
Burlington Coat Factory?
uh, I don't know. Let's pull it up on maps. Where is Burlington, Kentucky?
Hey Siri.
It is very close to Cincinnati.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, so it's on the border.
Yeah, yeah, right
Sweet.
up by the border. What's the biggest town? Oak Brook, Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky International Airport.
Yeah.
Fort Mitchell. Um, I don't
That's
know.
not it's really not that far of a drive for you.
No, it would be a close drive, and a weekend trip up there to check things out. It'd be pretty cool. But yeah, I'd
Yeah.
love to go and learn how they make arrows. They make how it's made videos or whatever. Um,
Yeah.
of like Easton arrows have done it, but just what they do differently, because they're good arrows, and they put like a finish on them that makes them a little bit more conditioned, and then they also sell a carbon conditioner. Um,
Ooh.
so put that to the test. They say it makes it easier to pull your arrows out, and keeps your carbon healthier longer. So
Nice.
good stuff. Good stuff.
Sweet.
Yeah, I am excited about all of it.
Yeah. I'm excited for you.
Yeah, I'm getting fired up for hunting season.
Chance enough.
Damn chance.
Hunting season over here. I go. Joel asked me today if there's this tournament or this event down in way southern Colorado in 2 weekends. That's it's an archery shoot on Saturday and a golf tournament on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, as he's like, you should come with us. As much as I'd love to, that's like my only weekend I can actually go scout in
Oh,
July.
need to.
So kind of need to go do that.
Yeah, need to scout, Brooks.
So
It's important.
yeah, I really do. I'm gonna probably just do 511,
Yeah,
just
that'd be good.
close, because I don't want to drive 5 hours to 62.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah,
That would be
so
tough. Yeah, do what's
too much
close.
stuff going. Yeah, I got to do what's close. It's too much stuff going on.
Yeah, I have not been boots on the ground scouting, and my camera. I don't know if my camera is working or not. My app, which allows me access to my camera, is not working.
Oh,
And this has been 2 weeks, and they've gotten an earful from me. I'm usually a pretty easygoing fella, and
yeah,
they've gotten an earful from me because I got hung up on, and I was not being rude at all. I was being very kind. In fact, I asked the guy how his day was going. He's like, "You're the first guy to ask me that today. Thank you." Blah 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 blah. I was like, "That's awesome. How can we get my app fixed so that I can start seeing what's on my camera?" Well, let me see. Let's try this, that, and the other thing. It's like, okay, didn't work. Huh? Are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure.
Pretty sure. Pretty sure. I would have
I'm
told you
sure
otherwise.
that I did exactly what you just told me, and I'm sure that I am not in the app like I'm supposed to be. So no, it did not work. I was being. He's like, okay, hold on just a second. Hold music. Okay, we're gonna try one other thing. Click. Didn't call me back. So guess who gets an email? Support. Hey, somebody just hung up on me mid diagnosis or whatever the heck they were trying to do.
Yeah.
And didn't ever hear back on that one. And then I've been emailing with this one person back and forth, and they haven't been helping me. They're like, "Oh yeah, IT knows
Jeez.
about it. We'll let you know when they come up with a solution." I was like, "Yeah, that's been a week since you told me that, and nothing has happened. My
Yeah.
computer's about to die."
Oh.
So, yeah, frustrating because I want to know if there's deer in there. Like there were deer tracks, but I want to know what deer are in there. So it's not working,
Right.
and it's not making me happy at all. So
That's
that's my
annoying.
status on that. That's my closing
Yeah.
thoughts.
Those are good closing thoughts. Kind of.
Sorry to end it on a downer. Lots of
But
good things in
frustrating.
this episode, so let's not end it on a downer. There's plenty of good things
Plenty.
about what's going on.
Yeah, I gotta get a couple game cameras and get those hung up in 511 to figure some things out. Probably should have done that in like May, but whatever.
But here you are.
Yeah, whatever. That's
That's all
what it
right.
is.
All right, Brooks, that was a good episode. We covered a lot. We had a lot to catch up on. So, hour and a
Yes, that
half.
was good.
Appreciate the listeners. If you're still here, like, subscribe. Go check out Brooks on Instagram. It's at _ Brooks Benson.
Correct.
At _ Brooks Benson. I am at Justin T. Mulvaney or at _ Full Fletch Archery. Those are all Instagram. I'm not on the TAC, the Chinese propaganda machine. Brooks is trying to convince me. I
I
should
just
hop
had
over
a
there.
video go viral.
No.
Yeah.
Viral?
To me, it's
All right.
viral. 10,000 views is viral.
That's pretty good. That's pretty
Yeah.
good for sure. Yeah, I might
From
have to check out TAC.
yeah,
So,
I was skeptical at first, but then I made one. Then I started posting a couple videos, and people were liking it. And I was like, okay. And then I posted
now
this
you're
one, and it
famous.
just took off. And I was like, oh, let's go.
Now you're famous.
So
That's
I'm
awesome.
at Brooks.Benson on that on TikTok.
There
So
you go.
actually,
Awesome.
here's the thing. I actually really like TikTok for archery content because there's actually a lot of good archery content on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there
Interesting.
really is. Like, and the cool thing is the algorithm really like dials it down for you.
Good algorithm.
So, so yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, maybe I'll check it out. All right, fine.
Yes. All right, folks.
We'll
It's
end
time.
on a win for Brooks. All right. Appreciate you guys listening. Go check out our socials. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, leave a review. I don't think I've asked for a review in a while, so leave a review if you've made it this far and you enjoyed what we've talked about. Or if you haven't, still leave a 5-star review because that's cool to do. Free. It's free to do.
Yes.
It doesn't
Free.
cost anything. So, all right.
Exactly.
We'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for listening.
See you guys.